Hey everyone, I thought I would make a quick video today to explain what the process was for us to become licensed foster parents in Ohio. I know you can go through private agencies or through your county. For us, we did choose to go through our county. We live in a really small town, so that is what we did. First for us, it started because we are friends with a caseworker here in town. Like I said, small town. So we mentioned it to her and it just kind of snowballed from there. We had the child placement coordinator call us and arrange a time to meet. We actually met at our church with several other families that were interested. It ended up being that 2 families committed to becoming foster parents, our family included in that too. So that's great. And after that, we ended up getting all the info we needed for the classes, and so we started shortly after that a series of 12 3-hour classes, and they actually weren't that bad. For my husband and I, having 3 young kids, it was almost like a date night, and we bonded with the families in our classes. Hold on 1 minute, little one needs me. Okay, I'm back. So, crisis averted. Somebody got locked in their little baby swing. So, okay. Anyhow, I also have a paper on my lap that I'm looking at just so I keep on track and don't go off on too many mental field trips, as my dad calls it. But anyway, so after we went through the 12 classes, we ended up having to take 2 first aid classes, so a total of 6 hours for that. So, but overall, it was a great experience. We met a lot of great people. We still keep in touch with all of them that we went through the classes with, and it just expanded the amount of people we know, and we had a good experience with them. So then after we graduated the classes, they sent us this huge envelope of paperwork. They told us to go through it really carefully because everyone always messes up something and they send it back. So I studied this thing and went through it 3 different times. My husband went through it. I sent it in knowing I was going to be the first one to not miss something, and sure enough, it got sent back. So I think I forgot to check a box about having committed felonies or something, and something silly, so ended up sending it back in fixed. And then after that, we started the home study process. I can't remember how many home studies we actually had. I think it was 3 or 4 that the child placement coordinator came out, asked us questions. Nothing too crazy. It actually felt repetitive. I think they were looking for like consistent answers. So then we had to start like checking the boxes as far as we needed to get physicals, family physicals, and we had to do the fire safety inspection, which was also a good experience. The firemen took the time to teach the kids all about fire safety and everything, so it was pretty cool. So what else? Oh, you have to make copies and give things like your proof of home insurance, car insurance, driver's license. We had to get a statement from the person over the children's ministry in our church, because we actually volunteer a lot of time in the children's ministry, so we had to get a statement from them verifying that. We had to get a copy of our marriage certificate, 2 months worth of bills to prove that we are financially stable, statement from our landlord that we have always been up to date on our rent payment. We had to give them 3 references that they could mail questions to and about us, and prove that we are what we say we are. I didn't have to do this, but my aunt, you'll hear me talk about her a lot. She's also a foster mom. My aunt had to take her dogs to the vet and get her dogs physicals and up to date on shots. So they definitely are thorough, but for a good reason. We want our kids in our community, these kids, to go someplace safe, and it's also for the foster parents' protection also, so that everything has been checked and everything is where it needs to be. So then after we gave all those things that we needed to do, then we had private interviews. My husband and I had to go separately to the agency for a like out of home interview. So, and again, I kind of felt like it was repetitive in the questions as far as like, how do you discipline? Do you have any trauma in your past? How do you handle conflict? How do you relax and refresh yourself? Things like that. Then they had the actual home inspection where they came out to our home and inspected it to make sure that it was safe and everything was where it needed to be. And then they come out and they tell you what you need to change, and then they come back out and just check and see if you made the changes. It stresses you out, but it's really not a big deal. They were very friendly and relaxed when they came out to the house, and it was not a big ordeal like we as moms make it, so it really isn't something to stress over. Then we just had to wait. I think it took us 3 or 4 weeks to then get our license in the mail. So I think the hardest part was the waiting from the beginning to start, like from starting the classes to getting license in hand. It was about 9 months. So I've actually heard people call it a 9-month paper pregnancy, and I thought that was kind of true and funny. So, but yeah, it seems like a lot, but honestly, when you get that child dropped off on your doorstep, it's worth it. It's just been so worth it already. We've only had one sibling group placement. We've done respite for several kids before the placement, but I mean, so far I'm only at like a month in, and it's already been